That stuff will kill you anyway.
Yeah, so will water, and I drink that shit.
G refreshes and Kingpin drops. I don't know how that works out.
I guess my computer thought I needed a refresh too.
I was gonna say G-Webs is refreshing. I thought when I saw somebody dropped, I assumed it was G-Webs, and then I
So
looked
you
down
guys
and
linked together somehow, or what? Huh?
G-Webs is Kingpin. Just saying, I've never seen either one of them. Oh,
Yeah, we've got a long fiber optic cable that stretches from Maryland to Arizona.
well, we're live. We're live on this last Thursday night in August. Hello, YouTube. Hello to the panel. Not really sure what we're going to discuss tonight, other than I've got GunTube Indiegogo keyed up over here, so that should make Seven really happy that we'll be e-bagging for that. And then I got a couple articles pulled up on on GunFeed. Cover this, nothing but a class act here, guys. That's you know how that goes.
Yeah, classiest show on the interwebs.
Classiest show on the interwebs on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern or Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern, as long as there's nothing else on. So, hello, Internet. Is that feedback? Mad Tex, are you still getting feedback? I was getting something. I don't know if it was coming through from somebody else or not.
I think it's cleared up now.
Okay. All right. So we'll go around the horn here and introduce the panel. I wish a certain person who strikes at night would get his ass in here rather than sending me emails back and forth about GunTube, since I didn't know he had new hardware, and he tells me 10 minutes before I'm going to start up my show that I should do it on GunTube. So if he's out there and watching, he has a link. He can get his butt in here and talk about it. But we'll start out with the chicken with the mostest, coming to us from the great state of Kansas. How you doing, Gizzard?
I am doing really well. Thank you for the invite, sir. I am proud and honored to be part of this program.
You realize you're on my show, right?
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Hey.
Well, thanks for coming in, Gizzard.
Yeah, thanks.
Coming to us from the state of West Virginia, where you can't send photos out in a text. It's Rich.
That's not true. That only happened once. Once. Just
How you doing, sir?
Doing a giveaway is when it happens. Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Too bad. We're doing good. We're doing good. We've yeah, that was another one. I didn't bring that up on the gun feed because I thought maybe everybody would have already seen it, but great. Well, there's Sarge, Orange Hunan. Kingpin coming to us from the most gun-friendly of the states, Maryland. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm just sitting here on top of all my fully automatic machine gun assault rifles with their 30-round extendable magazine clips.
No silencers, though? You got to have silencers.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to talk about that. It's silent.
Ah, okay. Thanks for coming in, sir.
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
The true question, does it have that thing that goes up?
Well, of course they have the shoulder thing that goes up.
Yeah, as long as you don't have that one thingy out front that you grab like this, that thingy that you grab like this, that's bad.
Real bad.
And coming to us from an undisclosed location somewhere in the Southwest, it's G-Webs. How you doing, sir?
Good. Thanks for the invite.
All right. So who have we got out in top chat? No, I don't want top chat. We're just all over this. Out there in the chat, we've got Gizzard Gary pulling double duty. We've got Jason Stewart, who is accusing me of Hunans. And I don't know what the hell happened. I got like a big jump, and I hit that 1,000 for like 3-4 days, and now I think it's settled down. YouTube realized that they didn't want me having that jump, and it's kind of settled down. So no Hunans. We got Kingpin pulling double duty. We got Kinky Sphincter is out there. Vocal 223, Mad Sexy. Midnight Range. We've got Orange Hunan. So hello Sarge or possibly Snob. Ozzy Orsborn is out there. Seven Wonders out there. Snob's Wife and Mr. Squidload out there in the chat. I think that's everybody. Yep, that's everybody. All right. Well, the first thing I wanted to cover was the Indiegogo Fortnite strike. And again, it's a shame he wasn't in there. Isn't in here. But as you can see, Yankee did a video for him. He did it for Nepa Gun Talk. How you doing, sir? He did a video today for Tony Simon for 2A is for everyone, or 2A4E, sorry. Also known as Simon Says Train. He's got a project going on over there. And if you go over to his Patreon and become a member at the $20 level this month, so it charges on the 1st of next month, you can be in the drawing for a CZP-10C that Yankee is donating to the project. And he also covered Night Strike's Indiegogo, which I think is equally important for this, because that gives all of us a better platform to post our gun-related content and to host our live shows. So if anybody hasn't watched that, you can go over there and watch that. If anybody hasn't gone over to the Indiegogo campaign, then you should get over there and donate for that, because I did tie my 1,000 sub giveaway into that. So you have to comment on my video, and then you have to go over and donate at least $1 to the Indiegogo campaign and send me a screenshot at obnoxious1live@gmail.com proving that you donated, and you will be in the drawing for the 1,000 sub giveaway. So let's go. So many tabs. There's so many tabs. And share this. And Night Strike is right now at 73%. Let's see if it's gone up. It was, nope, nothing new. So he's gotten about $500 since last night. I think we checked it. And I'm really hoping that he hits, with Yankee pushing that out, that he's definitely going to hit his goal. And I'm hoping with Yankee, since Yankee pushed it out, that now he's going to start hitting some of these stretch goals. And he's going to be able to build it. He's going to be able to get an app for this. He's going to get some better software. And then he'll start working into getting some better hardware, or more hardware. And I mean, God willing, and the creek don't rise, if he hits his 10,000 or better, he can start hiring somebody to come in and help out and actually really get this thing off the ground.
I told him for $9,000 I would consult.
So that is $9,000 just for you.
I didn't want to.
I didn't want to confine myself with a time frame, so I figured, just leave it open.
I mean, that seems fair. Yeah, he was killing me. Yeah, he was at about 50%, I think, last night. I don't doubt it, Midnight. I doubt Yankee had anything to do with it whatsoever. I'm sure it was Midnight's Instagram post.
More people watch the closer than they do any of Yankees videos, let's be real.
Yeah, but he didn't mention it on the closer. He just brought it up.
Whoosh.
He just put it on an Instagram post.
Yeah, we talked about it at the end of my show on Sundays.
So what do you guys think of that? You think he's going to make it now that that Yankees chimed in? I mean, from experience and what I've seen, that when Yankee brings something to it, he brings people. And like I said, his video has been out, I think, a little over an hour now.
That's a good possibility. I mean, Yankee has the display of a cult leader. I mean that in a good way.
How many subscribers does Yankee have?
No, that's just a phenomenon of somebody with 250,000 subscribers. I mean, think about how big a building would have to be with 250,000 people. Think about if 250,000 people dropped a dollar bill, that would accumulate $250,000. He's not. He doesn't have a cult following. If he had a cult following, there would literally be millionaires in his name, right? When Yankee deemed something appropriate, if 250 million people acted, that would be someone with $250,000 plus. So that's not the case. But what is the case is he's an honest person. You would like him or not, he is legit. I've known him for a few years now, and he is the same person in his videos as he is in real life. I think people realize that by now. And he has an audience of people that trust him, and the people out of 250,000 that watch a video is something really realistically like tens of thousands sometimes. Many tens of thousands of people watch a video. So even a percentage of that is 100 people acting. So, or hundreds of people acting. So when someone's legitimate and they're asking for, and they've created an audience of 250,000 people who find that of interest, or at least want to monitor that, as opposed to flashy shooting a 50 BMG into a chicken or, into a bunch of cell phones or something. Then, I'm saying like that kind of stuff appeals to a totally different audience. So Yankee doing what he does and being who he is appeals to 250,000 people. And when he asks them to act, a call to action on something that's valid, then they can take him for his word. And even if only a portion, which we're only seeing, only a mere portion of those people actually are following through. I don't think Yankee has any kind of stranglehold on anybody. He's just an honest person doing his thing. I know he's been doing it now for 9 years on a regular basis. He's put absolutely no actual effort into it. He's allowed it to accumulate. In fact, he actively does things occasionally, as he brags about, to remove people from his list who he does not appreciate tagging along. And he'll do things, to kind of shake them off. So Yankee's just a regular person. I think that's hopefully an inspiration for people who are seeing some of the TVs, emulating TV personalities being successful. And again, they're only successful because when you have even more, Yankee's not a huge channel anymore with 250,000 viewers. There's people with 1 million viewers. Imagine if you had 1 million viewers and you asked them to buy a t-shirt, and that t-shirt gave you a profit of $5. A mere portion of those people are bringing you tens of thousands of dollars. So sure, it's going to enable you to put more production value in. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that are in that cycle emulate old television shows. So they work towards that, where Yankee has no interest in emulating what happened. He instead does his own thing. And the people that follow him are a different caliber for sure. But no, I just wanted to throw that in there. I don't think he's got a cult following at all. That's just the result of having 250,000 people interested. And I think that, again, Yankees an indication that almost anybody who's legit and real can gain a following of that by just consistently putting stuff out and having an honest message. And then, again, he doesn't point to things just to point. He doesn't get asked to point at things and do it just because he's asked. He does it on things that he feels are important. So he doesn't ask the people that watch him to do stuff very often either. So I suppose that's a factor too.
Yeah, well, he's got 320,000, I think.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
And right now he's got about 2.3K views on it, but it's just about 2,500 views on it, but it's just a little over an hour old now. So I think he'll usually get like 10 to 20,000 views on a vid. So
That's what I'm saying. Just playing the odds with the amount of traffic that goes through, and that's just on YouTube. I don't know if he does Facebook or Twitter or anything else, but just the amount of traffic passing through. If somebody accidentally drops $1 when they walk through your door, and 500 people in a day do that, then you accidentally just got 500 extra bucks.
Oh yeah, with that kind of with that kind of traffic coming through, and now he's here. Now that we filled up. So, with that kind of traffic coming through, he's gonna get that, and I'm hoping that it's gonna move through, and he's gonna hit some of these stretch goals. But I'm gonna drop.
You can drop me in the backstage.
You all right with it, Kingpin?
Yeah, I'm gonna go mess with people in the chat room for a little while.
Okay. All right, I'll drop you in so that Night Strike can get in here.
I just got here, man. I can drop out. No problem.
That's all right. Kingpin likes to troll the chat too. So
I never do that personally.
No, you never do that. So
look who doesn't have time to yell it anymore.
now he's got a shirt. Well, Ghost dropped out. All right. Well, we'll bring Kingpin back in here, and Ghost, if you want to come back in, come back in, brother. We'll get you in here and get you talking. But
that's all 2-bits do. They drop in, spread their links.
All right.
Sorry I'm late, but today's a very special day for me. So
yeah,
it's my birthday.
Maybe it's a special day.
Your birthday?
Maybe it's a special.
Today's my birthday, and G-Webs, thank you for the birthday wishes that on LinkedIn.
I told these guys they chose to ignore me. If you scroll up in the
I'm afraid to come in here with his birthday suit.
I'm going to reply on LinkedIn, G-Webs, but I'm just letting you know right now. Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm not saying I'm the only one that cares, but I'm the only one that cares.
I appreciate it. So.
Well, see, if you'd ever accept my friend request on Facebook, I would have known it was your birthday. I would have sent you a happy birthday.
I hate using Facebook personally.
Facebook is for grandmas.
Well, I'm getting up there, brother.
Well,
I'm
not doing that. But yeah, today's my birthday, so I was out with family having birthday festivities, and some more family, wants to is down here, and we're gonna do some more things on Saturday. So, I'm just letting you know that I'm doing things today because special day.
Well, happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
So I'm gonna go to Ghost and see how he's doing and introduce him, and then we'll come back to you because you've got the big project going. So Ghost, how are you doing, sir?
Ghost.
He would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids
and their dog.
and their dog.
Right, me?
Ruh-roh.
You
mean these meddling kids and their dog?
Yes.
Where's Ruh-roh call when you need him?
All right. Well, we'll come back to Ghost then. Night Strike. What do you got going on, brother? You got some kind of project going on? I heard a little something about it. Somewhere along the lines. I mean, I'm not sure if I could support it or not, but.
Right. Well, if you do choose to support it, I've got a red shirt with your name, orange shirt with your name on it. So, I've got an orange shirt with your name on if you do support it. So just let you know. Here we go. Hey, there it is. I don't know if you can present me. Here we go. So we're at, wow. That's a hell of a lot more than I thought we were at before.
Yeah, you got Yankee released a video for you and Tony about an hour and a half ago. So you've gotten a little bit of a jump here in the since last night. You were just over 2,000, I think, last night.
Yeah, I got, this morning I woke up and, two people had, donated again, and we were at like, I think it was like 2110 or something. And now we're right there. It's like, if anyone doesn't know, last night me and Roll Call used the new hardware that I rented for GunTube, and we ran all of Rants and Raves straight off of the GunTube chamber platform that GunTube is running this Indiegogo to try and fund, because servers cost money, and unfortunately, we're not making enough right now to put a ton of servers up so that we could offer this as a service. But that's why we're running the Indiegogo, to get the capital that we need from the people who want to see it happen most, the users, and the people who love watching these shows. So that's why we're doing this, so that we have something we can use, and nobody tells us that we like conversations, but we don't like gun conversations. So we don't want you to use our platform anymore. With GunTube, you're not going to have that. As long as you're talking about guns, and hell, I'll even throw food in there just for Travis, just for our good friend Travis. Food is okay too, as long as you got a good barbecue gun with it.
Well, I have a question about this platform.
Yes.
What about if, like, let's say a bunch of people come in and start using staple guns and posting videos about staple guns, or maybe a bunch of people come in and start putting in things about cock guns? Are you gonna?
No, because technically those are guns too. Those are guns. They may not be the guns necessarily that we all talk about, but they're still a form of guns, so they still belong on GunTube.
Well, now he's getting drunk on this Indiegogo funding money, and he's just letting any gun in there. Next, it's gonna be water guns.
There's only one type of gun you can't have on GunTube.
Finger guns?
Grease gun?
Nope.
What about
Airsoft
anti-gun?
I don't want to see any airsoft on GunTube.
I'll post. That's the only thing I'm posting on GunTube from now on.
I got to get that airsoft video done, man.
Yep, I'm gonna go out and get myself an airsoft gun tomorrow.
The most.
Two or three.
I'm going to be the first to get kicked off of GunTube, and then I will make a bunch of videos about how I got kicked off after supporting it on Indiegogo. I'm one of the largest supporters on Indiegogo.
By the way, I'm kidding, of course.
Okay, I'm about to say, man, Mr. shall not be infringing on airsoft.
No. Did you see the T-shirt just a second ago? Obviously not. No. All former guns are welcome on GunTube.
If it was not loud enough, how are we supposed to see it?
Right.
It wasn't even in all caps. I mean, come on.
It's in all caps.
It was obviously typed by somebody else.
Are you going to allow anti-gun talk on there?
Only if there's pro-gun talk to try and convince them otherwise.
I'm just saying. I didn't know it's gun talk.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have someone playing the devil's advocate or the anti, I expect to see somebody else playing the other side trying to convince them.
Yeah, there you go. That's fair.
That we got to have both sides. You can't just have one side and then try and spam it all over the internet. You got to have both sides, because if you only have one side, you're you're ignoring everybody else. So, all right. So that's it. I'm gonna turn this off, but. Yeah, we're getting places. I didn't see Yankees video yet. I got to go look at Yankees video because I've been out doing birthday stuff all day. So I just got home just a few minutes ago.
Well, we watched
them the maps to all the places that give you birthday spankings.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. Yeah.
Go to Starbucks, get your coffee, and
could have watched it with us. But,
What does PSA give you free for your birthday?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Has anybody ever done that though? Like there's like a route you can take and get like all these different free samples and free things by showing them it's your birthday.
I've never done that. It seems like too much work for free stuff.
But it's kind of not, because everything's free. So you have a massive adventure and everybody tells you happy birthday, and then you get like all kinds of sundaes and Slurpees.
That seems like entirely too many people to deal with.
Ghost, are you having problems? Can you not hear us?
I can hear you.
Ghost, can you hear me?
You can hear us?
Can you hear me?
Unknown user wants to. Yeah, we
Yes,
can
we
hear you.
If you read all of it, you'll see that you're yelling so loud. I had to turn my volume down so that the rest of these guys are whispering.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I was responding in the
I'm just
private
excited.
chat to G's statement that he were whispering. I said, "Huh? Can't hear you." It's called a smart ass joke. Just saying,
It's called
know.
reading the
Right.
whole conversation and not the last book.
I'm not
Right.
used to that from you, though.
Yeah, we're not used to that kind of humor from you, Ghost. You branching out?
What? Being
Unknown
a
user wants to
smart?
know if you
You
will
must not know
allow-
me, bro.
Spend some time around him.
Yeah, I'm very rarely a smart ass.
Just when
Right.
he's awake.
Just once in a while.
Ghost is never a smart ass. Just,
Never.
you know.
Ghost
And
is
I'm
too
just-
nice.
Just every
And
day.
I'm never.
That's right. That's right.
Can we take a second away from this gun tube extravaganza and
Yes.
ask about what happened in Massachusetts? I had not got a chance. I know that Rupan was there, and I think I've seen just like videos popping up on Gunstreamer, in the feed or whatever, the recent videos that there must have been some results, but has anybody heard anything like a summary or a recap of what happened in Massachusetts with the 68 things yesterday?
From my understanding, and I haven't been keeping up as much as I should today, but from my understanding, is it took like 3 hours or something to go through them all, and I don't think any of them were voted on yet. I think this is still a work in progress. I don't think anything was voted on though.
Oh, because I thought I saw something on a title of a video about like it's now illegal to point like a finger like a gun or something, a gesture like a gun.
Like I said, man, I might be
That was
mistaken.
Philadelphia.
Oh, so that's different.
Yeah.
I wasn't reading it close enough. Okay. Gotcha. I'm pointing my finger at you like a gun. Gotcha.
We should be able to. I mean, I'll send a text over to Jared and see what he would find out. He would know.
You get reply text for like the next 45 minutes, paragraphs at a time. Boom, 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 just one after another.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been on YouTube all that much today. So, like I said, I came down here to fire it up, and I saw that Yankee had that video up.
Oh, Kingpin just posted a link to Rupan's video. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, Rupan was live for quite a while last night. I know he was going over stuff, so I don't know how deep he got into it, because I watched his for a little while, and then I watched Rants and Raves for a little while, and then I went to bed. So I don't know how deep Rupan got into it. And yeah, Jason.
So you're telling me that Rants and Raves is what you use to go to sleep? How is that possible?
No, I watched it. I watched it so that it would wear me out, so that I would be able to go to sleep.
I thought it was because you were like from, Illinois and just used to all the damn noise, and without all that noise being in rural North Carolina now, you can't sleep.
Yeah, there's no noise here except when the neighbors are out running their four-wheelers around on their property, but that's all right. I'm good with it. Occasionally somebody pops off some guns. That's not me. I'm also okay with that. But yeah, Jason, you have to be actually monetized before you can have super chat. So even if you get the 1,000 and get the watch hours, you still don't get super chats until you're actually monetized.
So you got to be snob, in other words.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you got to be snob. Can't be Sarge. Can't be King or Night Strike. Can't be Sarge. Can't be Night Strike.
Yeah.
See what Rupan says? If you want, I'll jump out. He said he can jump in and give us a recap.
Yeah, I'll jump I have no problem. I've got to get some dinner, but I just want to say, hey, thanks for having me. I'll jump out real quick.
All right, Ghost.
Bye,
Thanks for
Ghost.
coming in, brother.
Bye.
I use what link? Rupan, send me an email, or Kingpin. Have you got Rupan's
Go to Gun
handy?
Channel. We got an instant message feature on Gun Channel. So just jump in and instant message each other.
Is he? Yeah, he's on. No.
Well, Rupan's got to jump over there. But yeah, once he's over there, you can jump in. I feel like we should be quiet until
Rupan shows up.
Hey,
moments
Hey,
of silence for Massachusetts.
Rupan is cool. So don't mess with Rupan. Yeah, Kingpin instead of Rupan. Oh.
Yeah, well, Kingpin was in the back room. Kingpin sent him a link, I'm guessing, so then he can jump in and cover these. So I saw people talking about Dan Crenshaw out there. Did anybody else see this article? And
Is it about how because his eye patch is on the right, he can only see things from the left point of view?
Not quite. I guess he was on a show with Caitlin Bennett, which was
Liberty Hangouts.
Liberty Hangouts.
Yeah. Well, that's the name of her YouTube channel. I watched her video on it today.
Yeah, and she was talking to him, and he said that he was open to the gun violence restraining orders. And that he publicly endorsed pre-crime legislation such as red flag laws in the TAPS Act. So I haven't followed a bunch of it. I saw he took a bunch of grief for this picture. I didn't really get into it and look at that. So has anybody got some more information? Has anybody watched that Liberty Hangout with him and what actually he said? And does he support these red flag laws? And
I didn't see that video, but I saw when he was on Steven Crowder a couple weeks ago. He was saying he does support the TAPS Act, but that he didn't support red flag laws. He was just saying that we need to have a discussion about red flag laws. That's what he said on Crowder. But that was a couple weeks ago. He may have changed by now, or may have not been being truthful. So who knows?
What's scarier, TAPS or red flag?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. He was saying that the TAPS Act is just giving law enforcement more tools that the federal law enforcement has now, that it has nothing to do with red flag laws, but red flag laws are the scary part. So I don't know. That again, that's coming from him when he was on Crowder a couple weeks ago.
Red flags require someone to initiate it and someone to follow through, and for a county not to be a sanctuary county from it, right? Where the TAPS Act, from what I understand, creates more government. It creates a new section of the executive branch to take what should be the responsibility of the legislature and put it under control of the executive branch, meaning under the control of whoever is elected to be the head of that branch. And then its job is to do whatever means possible using a giant pool of money that can, of course, be increased later, which is not money that's just laying around extra. Of course, that's burden on our descendants as far as debt, and then create an organization or create an entity, from what I understand, Patriot Act-like, where basically they're going to decide what needs to be done to monitor free people in order to stop this epidemic of gun violence.
Rupan's out back, obnoxious. I don't know if you can see him.
yeah, I can see him. All right. Spring group in
People were
here.
not just automatically pissed because he took a picture with the moms. People are pissed because when people who claim to be pro-gun then flip-flop and become anti-gun, the antis use them as justification or proof of their bullshit claim that 80% of gun owners want, fill in the blank, more gun control.
He also posted on Instagram and basically called everybody that questioned him a snowflake and said that they were triggered every time they hear the word red flag law. He definitely, when you watch his Instagram video, he's not as rich a politician would normally be. He's actually kind of rude about it.
There are no
Well-
R's and D's. There are pro-individual, there are pro-state. This guy is an R that is pro-state.
Yeah, he's only a Republican conveniently. He's basically. I'm sorry to say it, but at best he's a libertarian, but he's
No
definitely
way. Libertarian wouldn't want government to do this. He is Democrat. He's
What he is he's called a rhino. Is what he is. And the thing about red flag laws, what really irks me is that, unlike in Europe and the rest of the world where you're guilty until proven innocent, in America, we're innocent until proven guilty. And what red flag laws do, they automatically make you guilty. Exactly like, what we fought against and broke away from and created our own country because of it. But no, let's go back to the old ways.
worse than that. You're guilty until proven innocent. Yes, but the only way you know that is a thing, the only way you know that that's been instigated against you is when they forcibly enter your home and take your property.
And unlike every other court case in existence, you can't defend yourself against your accuser in court.
Right. It's on you to prove that you're not the person that some anonymous accuser has painted you out to be. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I've been saying all along with these red flag laws is that they'll never write them so that they can't be abused.
Maryland's
They won't.
I mean, we got a joke here in Massachusetts. They, sorry, Kingpin, where they passed the red flag laws, but literally, like anybody, the way the law is written, if you don't like somebody or you think they're going to harm somebody, you can literally just go to the police chief in that town and say, "This guy's been threatening me. I think you should remove his LTC," and they have the authority to do that, but they still had to pass red flag laws.
Yeah, I've read a bunch of them, but I've only really studied Maryland's, and Maryland's is so corrupt. It says that there's I can't remember exactly how it goes, but instead of saying you should obtain a lawyer as soon as possible to help you with this, it says that it's not under the recommendation that you get a lawyer. And what kind of legal system takes an action against a civilian and doesn't want them to come to court with a lawyer? And it says right there in the bill that, lawyer schmoyer, you get one or not, no big deal.
Yeah, basically they're telling you, yeah, you can go ahead and exercise your Sixth Amendment right, but we don't recommend it.
Trying to go through here because I saw an article on gun
Which
feed.
that's wrong in general.
Correct. So the quick Massachusetts recap. Was very, very surprised at the turnout. It was roughly, I mean, it's rough, but 3-1, and that was more than me that came up with that. So there was a bunch of people.
3-1 which way? 3-1 which way?
Our way. But so the pro gunners were beating the antis, but somehow I don't know if the antis got there earlier, or I don't know if they were able to get in earlier. But they had grabbed most of the chairs right in front of where you're giving your public comment, and the rest of the room was pretty much pro gunners. And we had some self-defense as a human right was there. Gun Owners Action League was there.
Let me interrupt, but when they're sitting there, they have all those stupid orange shirts on.
Yes.
So when they take a picture of the crowd, the pro gunners behind them, unless they're doing something to challenge those orange shirts, really just look like they're there to back up the people that are there sitting in the orange shirts. So it's not just numbers of people that attend, but like what time of day you get there so that you get first seats in the first rows, right?
Correct. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how they ended up getting those rows, but there was a couple different gun groups there. There was a bunch of guys wearing orange hats that said "Goal," which is Gun Owners Action League. We had people wearing shirts that said "Will not comply" or "I will not comply." A bunch of people wearing those shirts. There was a bunch of people from Self Defense is a Human Right wearing their shirts. There was like a hodgepodge of all the different gun groups. Massachusetts Lawful Gun Owners was there. A bunch of people from, a couple people from the Massachusetts Libertarian. There was a couple airsoft people there. I was real surprised. Black Arrow or Arrowhead Airsoft. I forget
Glad
exactly.
Strike wasn't there. There would have been a commotion.
Well, I think it was Mad Sexy said on the live post that when they were pleading, and I ended up getting that footage. Mad Sexy was like, they're pleading for toys. Like they're pleading because there's a bill that bans any imitation firearm. Any imitation firearm.
That's the future of this country. You're not allowed to emulate. You're not allowed to like to play. I mean, that's literally what we do when we're kids: is play army, play cowboy, play police, cops and robbers.
That's problematic. We can't have that here. That can be
Now,
problematic.
now you're describing who showed up. I want to talk about the orange again, but without interrupting you too bad. Was it just talking yesterday, or was it voting yesterday also?
It was a hearing for public comment.
Okay, so they have yet to vote on these 68 things.
Correct. They're not in session right now, and I think they have to pass the budget first, and they suck at passing a budget. If you ever look at Massachusetts' record for passing a budget, it always comes in late. So, yeah. So not all of them were bad bills, but most of them were bad. One gun a month, banning all standard magazines, and making whatever ones are here, making you register and serialize them. I believe Cycle Camp had to do that in Connecticut already. Mandating annual inspections of guns by local law enforcement. Which that one I had a real problem with. I was talking with an ATF agent who's out of Boston, and he was questioning me. I bought some stolen firearm parts. I didn't know they were stolen. Bought some parts online. He called me up. Yeah, I need those parts back. They were stolen. Well, I put them on a gun. So then he was like, "Well, where's the gun?" I was like, "I sold it to somebody." So. Anyways, maybe I should have kept my mouth shut, but I'm an 03 FFL and I was doing things the right way or whatever. So I pointed him in the guy's direction, and he already knew the information because they have the database that is searchable. He thought that database wasn't searchable. He was able to search the database, and he proved it to me in person. And I was asking him, I was making some comments about guns, where they come from, and he said almost, I think it was less than 10%. I don't know the exact number. I think he said less than 10% of guns used in crime in this state were originally sold in this state. So, using what the ATF agent said, the mandatory annual inspections of guns by local law enforcement is absolutely insane. There's over 340,000 open warrants in this state right now, and over 2,000 of them are sex offenders that did not register where they're at right now. So, what's more important here? Huh? The best one is all guns, this bill, all guns offered for sale must be photographed and test fired by the state crime lab. That's one of my favorite bills right there.
That's horrible.
And their response was, when they were asked a question about it or something, they said, all legal guns or all illegal guns at one point were legal guns. We can stop this. Okay, so you want to know that Joe Schmo stole my gun from my house and then ground the serial number off it and then robbed the store with it? That's going to help you somehow? How you're just going to help you connect the crime, but is it going to actually help you? I don't. Me spending an extra couple $100 to have them what sounds like almost proof testing it, like what they do in the UK. I don't know. So there's a bunch of other stuff they want to do, which, there was a suppressor bill to make suppressors legal. Now, Stop Handgun Violence was there. They don't like that at all. John Rosenthal says that, if suppressors become legal in the state, then gang members are going to be assassinating each other in the streets. That's paraphrasing. But so then this guy gets up there for public comment. He's an FFL 07 with an SOT, I'm guessing. And he said that he believed that silencers or suppressors were hearing safe. So he looked right at the committee and said, I have permanent hearing loss in my left ear because I believed that I could shoot a firearm with a suppressor and I would not get hearing damage. So that was awesome. I would love to get the video and cut that part out just so I could post it. But does anybody have any questions?
So they didn't pass anything. They just opened up for public comment. And
this was a committee of your state legislature.
Correct.
How many? 12?
I couldn't see. The room was weird. The room wasn't like the way you would think it should be. It was set up sideways. So really the only people in the seats were kind of like the audience. The rest of us couldn't really hear. There's cameras I could see. And I feel like they asked anti-gunners more questions. Now I'm biased, but I believe that they gave them a lot more leeway. Like, one of the conservatives guys was getting a little emotional or whatever, talking about something. So, your time's up, pal. But, the other person's, my friend died from gun violence. We need to do something. I'm worried, it's, that's okay though. I don't know. But, obviously I'm biased in the way, and I couldn't really hear that well. So. But.
So if it's, my question was how many, because, I'm guessing it's something like 12 or something, but if only 6 of them showed up, that shows like their respect for the the thing or the whatever. So was there anything, do you know anything about how this happened? Like how they got 68? That coordination seems amazing. So that doesn't just happen with coincidence when 68 individuals just happen to all decide to do something unanimous, at the same time. So who initiated this shit?
Not exactly sure. It was some people. Some of them were from Stop Handgun Violence. Some of them were from Moms Made Action. There was a couple. There was 3 or 4 police chiefs there. I mean, they were like
the typical crew, like of the Bloomberg corporation or entities.
Yeah, typical crew.
But I guess my question would still be like, hold on, let's sneeze. Sorry, how many of? Sorry, I'm allergic to. I'm allergic to infringement. Sorry. I'm wondering if it was a committee of 12 and like only 6 showed up or whatever the minimum is for it to even be in session. That tells us something versus like all 6 of them show up and are foaming at the mouth and like you say they're focusing on the anti stuff as if it's the real reason they're there and they're only given the obligatory time to the anti-gun. I guess that's my ask. I was going to ask that about it, like an impression, but then if you can't answer that, my other question was going to follow up like not knowing the partiality or like if the committee was really being impartial or not. I was wondering if there was any indication of what was absorbed. Did they go, well, there was a lot of passionate pleas from the antis, but so much rational stuff from the good guys that there's no way we could possibly, like what would be called like bend to the whim of this pressure. Like obviously they're not used to getting 68 bills on the same issue at once. This is an artificially induced thing. So they have to know it's manipulative, right? The legislature must know it's manipulative. So were they impartial and saying, Well, since we know that these are all anti-gun, they were pushed by somebody who has an agenda to remove rights. We've got 2/3 of the people that showed up want to recover their rights on a Wednesday, 10 a.m., right? We have 2/3 of the people that show up. We have busloads of people who were paid to be here sitting in the front row in the same shirt. So we know that this was initiated by a motivational or motivated by a movement, and the people that are here were provided by that movement. Yet 2/3 of the people that showed up were individuals. So thank you for your attempt to overthrow our government, but get the F out of here. Was that the attitude as they left, or do we know, or was their attitude, oh, this is such a concern from the grassroots of our community, we'll have to get rid of these rights because obviously this wasn't manipulated, this is grassroots?
Now, I had to leave a little early because I had to go to Gillette Stadium for a thing that I couldn't miss. But
so sports are more important than their Second Amendment. I get it.
Well, I had a job there, and I had an appointment with somebody.
I'm just fucking kidding. Thank you for being there, and thank you for reporting back to us.
Yeah, I really didn't want to go to that, but I had to. But I found out later that I didn't have to go. But I had, under that point, I had to go. So, but what I did get, I tried to get the guy from Lowell Gun Owners on my YouTube last night to get the really full of the ending. But from what I could see, they didn't really care. And it sounded like they cared more and were asking more questions and more engaged with people who were on the anti-gun side. But if it was pro-gunners, they would ask questions if the people were dressed really nice. Now, there were some guys who got up there and were a little bit more of Night Strike style, but they didn't get thrown out. But they were it was more of like preaching and less like a public comment. So that really turned those legislators off.
Are you saying I preach?
Yes, you preach the good word,
Reverend Night Strike.
These legislators.
I'm gonna have to get a collar. I'm gonna have to get one of those, or those collars, and preach the good word of.
You're gonna have to call Never Enough Ammo. You're gonna have to call Never Enough Ammo.
Oh no, I've
got ordained.
I already know because Great Jedi got ordained from the same place.
Yeah, but I see you can see the reactions of some people, and that one of those guys was talking he started going way off topic and was really preaching hardcore, but that's not. I don't think that's the best public comment. Like the guy, one of my favorite public comments that I could actually hear. There was a Chinese kid up there who I think argued pro Second Amendment advocacy, but I couldn't hear what he said. That kind of pissed me off. He was saying something about because of his immigration status, he was denied self-defense rights or something. I don't know. He looked like he was an anti, and he said something about being denied self-defense, and then ended up leaving. So I was kind of pissed that I didn't get to hear what he said. But so I think, here's one thing. If anything, the point I got was the anti-gunners are beating the same drum, and the pro-gunners in there let those people know. I think it was 8 or 9 people, legislators. They let them know they're mad. So they definitely got the point across that they're really pissed. So, and hopefully other people, if you live here, just go ahead and let your reps know that you're mad too. Because if you don't, forget about the fusion centers and they're coming to get you. Because they're going to come to get you anyways. And your name's already on the list if you're a gun owner. So let the reps know. So.
That's the same thing in Illinois. They've got the firearm owner's ID. They don't have a gun registration. They have an owner registration.
We have both. We have a gun registration and an owner registration. So, unless if you have guns before 1998, and they have not been transferred since 1998, it's not on the roster and doesn't legally have to be on the roster until they claim that the word, I love that, the high capacity, standard capacity mag. It doesn't make any sense. In Massachusetts, the law says a 10-round magazine is a high capacity magazine. So when they call a 30-round a high capacity, they're wrong. It's like an uber high capacity. But they were saying that the 98 ban our 98 band, which is almost a carbon copy of the 94 band, but it's missing a couple things because we have a pistol roster. So they're saying that there's a loophole in it. So there's a huge loophole with the magazines. And she ended up mentioning the word grandfather later, but she said loophole a bunch of times. And I love how something that was purposefully written in the legislation a certain way, and it's spelled out clearly, she is calling a loophole. I was like, and that's when I wrote that post on Instagram. I was like, you're insane. Like, grandfather does not equal loophole. Like, so thanks for sharing that post, G-Webs.
But grandfather doesn't get you the same reaction that the loophole does.
No, there's a scary loophole.
Mm-hmm.
And they also want to close a loophole where if I were to sell a rifle to you, obnoxious, and you came over to my house and I sold it to you and you filled out the Massachusetts FA10 gun portal somehow, I don't know how the hell you would do it. I've never attempted it because you don't have a license. So how the hell would you fill it? But apparently Representative David Linsky says I could sell you a rifle and you would only have to pass a Massachusetts background check and not a federal background check. So therefore, we need to remove all private transfers in the state. Our 4-year we get, like, with a very expensive, like a $2 million or $3 million online program, so we can do these background checks. Apparently, we need to get rid of that because it's. I don't even.
What was the sense in the room? Like, imagine frustration, but the people that showed up had to be an extract of people who care or who are motivated or who are truly interested. So the people that were in the orange shirts sitting down up front, who were, I'm guessing, bust in, did they have much like passion or interest or concern about the proceedings that you could tell? And then second question, the pro gun, the good guys, us, what was the atmosphere with us? Were they enthused? Were they happy to see the turnout like you were and felt empowered by it, and that motivation in the room got through to the legislature? Or was it just like a fucking stank desperation and fear, and those people in the middle were absorbing it like evil demons, and the people up front were just understanding that and calculating how to infringe more?
It's a good question. It's hard to figure out. It's very hard to figure out because it was like 99 degrees in there because apparently the air conditioning was broken or something. So it was so hot in there that all I could think about was how hot it was in there. And I mean, just sweating heavy. So there was a lot. So after Jim Wallace, the guy from Goal, talked, they went ahead and we had like a standing ovation where everybody was pretty much standing anyways. We had a loud, standing ovation for him, and it was real loud. Like, everybody, very, very loud. And then later, the next anti that talked, they tried to clap louder than we did. And their clap, it sounded like they were all clapping as hard as they could. Like, you could tell that it was a different clap. Like, they were really forcing it. So I don't know if you want to say that was it, but a lot of people were motivated. A lot of extremely motivated looking people, angry looking people. I mean, people literally wearing "I will not comply" shirts in the State House.
Right on. Well, I like that because that's awesome answer, because to like the applause, right? Like, that's something that's audible that everyone experiences, and it's in a room like you're talking about, inside, indoors, like that, no matter how big the room, and the bigger the room, the better. Like, that reverberation, or that, like, what you feel, like you're saying. And then it's sort of like when there's in sports and there's like the 17 people that show up from the other school and they're like, yeah, we care, clap, clap, clap. And then the rest of the thing is like a thundering ovation. It makes the dust come out the rafters and stuff. So even if the legislature people, whoever those representatives were that were there, weren't on our side, like, it's difficult for them to dismiss that obviousness, right? And I think that's what goes home with them. And in the back of their minds, they're like, we have to concede to these idiots, the antis, right? We have to do something, but they know that if they just dance around and punch us, that can appease them. Like they don't expect the Second Amendment to go away. They like the Second Amendment, but they'll be satisfied if the representatives just jump around and slap us, and then they can say, "Oh, the NRA and the industry was so mean to us." But if they don't know that we will take them out of office, if we will never rest, if we will, the country will crumble without our participation. Like if they don't know that, then I suspect the people that are representing could suspect that the people crying about garbage are somehow the majority, right? Well, that's not the case. And I think that I want to thank you and everybody else that showed up, because it's real easy to go, oh, there's no reason to. Or it's real easy to say, oh, I got important things to do. Or it's real easy to say, somebody else will do it. Or it's real easy to say, well, I paid $30 for this to be taken care of for me, right? It's real easy to come up with all the other excuses that the literally millions of people in your state use to describe why they didn't show up yesterday. But the people that did show up and the people that were probably hanging out outside, not even able to get into the places where they were ignoring you guys, and the people that body heat made that place uncomfortable, that is, and I'm sure they turned that air conditioning off intentionally. We know that they do that intentionally to make it uncomfortable so that people scatter. But the people that stuck around through that misery, thank you, bravo. I got to jump out and go shill for Yankee, but thanks for doing the recap too. I'll look forward later on when you all go to sleep and you don't do live chats in the middle of the night like we used to. I'll be listening to Rupan's video.
All right, thanks for jumping in, G.
Awesome.
Thanks. This
G.
is not the year to sit around and watch. This is the year to get up and get involved. Yankee's just a regular dude with, what do we say, 350,000 subs. That's because for 9 years he's just been being Yankee. You don't have to be Yankee. You can be you. Gizzard is going to be that big at some point. Everybody get in there, be part of it. If you can't be it, or if you're not able to, support these guys. I'm talking to the choir here, but thanks again. This is the year to kick butt. Gun Channels is for this kind of conversation. Use it. It ain't perfect. I'm not trying to turn it into the fancier new Facebook or nothing like that. It's just for conversations like this so that we can utilize our skill sets and overcome. Support the people that are going to Gun Rights Policy Conference. Thanks for the link.
All right. Thanks, G.
Thanks, G.
Hell yeah, thanks. I want to make one more point before I can shut up for a little while. I've been talking a lot.
Go ahead.
Now, like, one of the things is I bet $20 that lots of people didn't show up because they were afraid. So don't be afraid. I was wearing a pro gun hat or whatever. I tried to make sure I didn't wear a patch that was rude, like not rude, but tried to make sure like I wasn't wearing that AK-47 patch from G. And I was like, maybe I'll dial it down a little and wear a gun show loophole tour patch.
I mean, every one of us has got a patch that we can get by with wearing. You can wear the gun show loophole patch if you got that. I mean, most of us in here, I think, have got Every Second Matters patches. You can wear those. You can.
Yeah. I really wanted to wear the pro gun as fuck patch.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't go over. Just like not wearing the I'm Your Huckleberry patch I got here.
Nice.
Let's see what we got. Let's turn my camera on. And there is the patch panel I got up there. But I mean, for that matter, you could wear your gun tube patch if you got that. You can, I got Florida Carry up there if you wanted to wear something like that. You can, asshole merit badge if you feel like it. What have we got?
I have an badge out there.
I've still got tons of gun tube patches available, so you can get them off the Indiegogo or you can get them off the gun tube store.
Yeah, you could wear, a spam can patch. You could wear the SW40 that's up there if you really wanted to. You could wear a no step on SNCC.
You could.
That's a little better than the don't tread on me, but you get by with doing a don't tread on me on there. But a no step on SNCC, that's nice. And then we got everything that's back there, and I got a Gun Channels patch. I got the Every Second Matters patch. I got a Gun Show loophole patch. You can wear a flag. But, the flag will probably trigger somebody too.
Good.
Don't you know the flag is racist? Come on.
Yes. Well, I didn't say the Betsy Ross flag. I just said the flag.
Well, no, there have been people that said the regular flag's racist.
Yeah, well,
Hey, they say this flag is racist when it was around before the U.S. flag was around.
everything is
So-
racist. Everything
No, that's
is
a
racist.
Nazi flag.
Oh, Group
That,
in.
I've heard people say that the Gadsden flag is a Nazi flag, and I've heard people say it's a Confederate flag. So,
Yeah. If the Nazis and the Confederates were around in like the 1790s or 80s, technically.
you expect people, these dumbasses to know the truth? Come on.
No, I don't expect them to pass, 5th grade these days because apparently everybody doesn't, finish high school. I mean, what the hell? Actually, pay attention in school, dumbasses.
When you've got let's go this one. I saw this one pop up on Gun Feed. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, okay. Here you go. TSA bans Star Wars Coke bottle from flights because they look like bombs.
I'm gonna have to go
I'm gonna have to go and protest. And not just from your carry-on bag. You can't put them in their. You can't put them in their luggage, the checked luggage either. So you can literally check a gun into your. Who the hell's got crickets?
Oh, that's probably me. Yeah, I'm no bomb expert, but
those are some loud crickets, brother.
yeah, I'm sitting right next to the window. I'll close it in just a second. They don't look like bombs to me. They look like stupid little bottles that are going to be super expensive.
Well, yeah, because they're getting them. They're getting them at the Galaxy's Edge theme park. So these are souvenir bottles of Coke and Diet Coke and Sprite.
So that means they probably cost like $20 a piece.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, no.
So you're because you're buying them at you're buying them at a theme park, so you're automatically paying a premium for them, and then they're souvenir bottles on top of it.
Or MD them things back to your house and FedEx.
Yeah.
So guys, I got a revolver today in the mail.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, hold on.
And there's a secret how I got it. There's one special secret. Can you guys guess what the secret is?
It's cap and ball.
Yep. That's how I got it in the mail, and it's not on the roster.
Yeah, that's the only way you can get guns sent to you other than the CMP is cap and ball.
And there was a bill to remove the CMP from sending you guns in mass as well. I forgot to mention that.
Of course.
Man.
They wouldn't even send this to me. I had to give them my FFL03 for them to send this to me. And I was like, but it says on your website that there's no restrictions in mass. I'm like, well, we don't care. He's like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. No offense, but if you won the 1,000 subscriber giveaway on my channel, I would have to send you the consolation prize because I'm not sending an AR parts kit to Massachusetts.
Hey, I'm a constable.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
I'll send you a copy of my badge and my ID if you want.
He is a constable. You're not kidding.
How do you think I've been still building ARs? Nice trick.
I'm not sending to restrictive states.
That's fine.
So
fair enough.
I've already mentioned that. I've already said it before. So
no, the parts aren't restricted. The lowers, you can still even legally own the lowers if you're a civilian. But the problem is you can't build it into a rifle and register it.
So you can have the parts, you just can't do anything with them.
Correct. So there's a lot of people in the state right now that probably have lowers and they have uppers, but they're not together. So then you're legal. And you're legal that way.
This is the state that threw the tea in the harbor.
Yeah, the state where they tried to take guns away from the citizens, and they fought back, and the shot from around the world happened. But no, let's restrict guns to where the civilians can't have them anymore. So it's okay when it's okay when we break away and we do it, but it's not okay when the British does it. How does that make any fucking sense?
They literally celebrate. These people are so proud of that history. It's literally, I've seen it like 4 times. I've been to the Battle of Lexington and Concord reenactment. I love seeing Paul Revere run out. I think it was Paul Revere, right? Yeah. He runs out with the box in his hands because he stayed there drinking all night.
Yeah.
Like, I love watching that. Like, he's running like, oh no, I gotta book it. This whole thing's over if they get this box. Like, so it's a fun thing to watch. But yeah.
But where the shot from around the world happened, where they tried to take guns away from the civilians, and the civilians fought back, and kicked the British out of our country. But it's okay when our government does it. Do you understand that logic? Because I fucking don't.
It's all about public safety, and I've said this before in some chats with Squib, is these people just don't want to be in any way, shape, or form responsible for their own safety or other people's safety. So just get the government to do it for you. And that's not how it works.
No one wants to stand up for themselves because they figure if they do, they're gonna get arrested and thrown in jail. Nobody has any balls to stand up and say no. That's what it is.
It's not even only our country. Remember, back during the American Revolution, the French were badasses still. Think about that. That's how much things have changed.
Back during the Revolution, when did the French have their revolution? Wasn't that before we had ours?
No, that was after. That was after.
Right.
Yeah,
but even then, the French royalty still helped us out. So it's just like, hey, it pisses the British off. Here you go.
No, there weren't no. When the French Revolution, there wasn't French royalty anymore. That was when everybody was getting their heads chopped off.
I meant during the American Civil Revolution.
Yeah, American Revolution. That's what I'm saying. Even back then, the French were still badasses. All of a sudden, after Napoleon, that's when the French started becoming wussies.
Yeah, it's like let's surrender. Let's no, actually, technically, towards the end of Napoleon's reign is when they started becoming
Franco-Prussian War.
After the Napoleonic Wars.
All I have to say is, yeah, good job there. Let's attack Russia in the winter. Great job. Hitler tried that. That didn't work out.
Well, the French did it before Hitler.
I know. The French did it, and then Hitler did it, and it didn't work out.
At some point, I believe the British did it as well. Or was that? No, that was Afghanistan. But
No.
same principle. You don't want to. Come on.
No.
But yeah, so we're so stupid that now we're banning souvenir Coke bottles from TSA, even in your checked luggage.
They're good.
Can we ban TSA?
We should name one thing that TSA has ever stopped.
My favorite one is the guy who got through with the fake bomb duct taped to his back, and they even patted him down or something like he got through.
Name one thing that TSA has stopped.
A cold.
A wheelchair?
Stopped you from bringing your own water onto a plane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But now in San Francisco, you can't even buy water in plastic bottles. But you can go to the machines and you can get juice in plastic bottles. And
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we have paper straws at Dunkin' Donuts now, and the paper the thing the straw sits into, the cover of the cup, is still made for a plastic straw. So after about 20 minutes, the straw just becomes soggy and starts to get bent and cut where it gets pokes through. It's like this needs to be redesigned. You need to have a larger hole with, so the pokey things aren't stabbing the friggin', slowly deteriorating paper straw. Like, come on, guys. Like,
yeah, well, that's why they take into consideration the fact that they've already proven that paper straws are worse for the environment than what plastic ones are anyway.
Well, yeah, they can't. And, never mind the fact that, where all that plastic comes that they're also worried about? Where all that plastic in the ocean comes from? I'll give you a hint. It doesn't come from the United States.
China or India.
Yes.
And I've said that to somebody.
Like 98% of that plastic that's in the ocean comes from China and India.
You're a liar. I saw Gary taking a truckload of it to the ocean yesterday, the Kansas Ocean.
No. Innocent.
I asked someone who was in favor of the Green New Deal if they're in favor of going to war, with China and India, and they said why. And then I started off on the how much they pollute, and how if we have 12 years left to live, and we need to fight a war now against them,
Yes.
or we're gonna die, and we can't do enough in this country. And they're like, "Oh no, I don't know what to do." It's like, exactly. Are you ready to declare war? Because I'm not.
That's it exactly. Oh yeah, you only get 12 years. Oh, and the newest one from somebody who shall not be named was that all these ancient diseases are going to thaw out in the glaciers and kill us all.
Okay.
Yeah. We just should ban dumping, Kingpin.
The
That's what we should
dinosaur
do.
DNA will mix in with the water and fish will eat it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them putting chemicals in the water that turns the frogs gay.
Gay frogs.
Gay
They
frogs.
don't need chemicals to do that. The frogs turn themselves transsexual.
I don't believe that at all.
No, that's true. There are certain species of frogs and will change genders.
I'm fairly sure Rich is correct.
I know
Never
certain
heard
humans
this.
change genders.
There's also certain fish that will change genders.
And Rich is usually right, anyways.
Fish
So
and granny
There are a
Rich-
lot of species that will if there's an overabundance or a lack of one of the genders that can switch. That is
Rich, take your knowledge and your logic and go home. Go on. Go.
Night Strike's a snowflake. He was
I was trying to make an Alex Jones joke, and he just ruined it.
Yeah, do your Alex Jones voice for us, man.
I don't want them putting chemicals in the water that turns the frogs gay.
At midnight.
that?
I want security at the airports that actually does something. I don't want security theater, which is what we have.
Yeah. I don't want to get. I want the pat downs to actually make a difference, not make someone feel better.
I want profiling because profiling works. The 80-year-old white grandmother who's in her wheelchair is probably not a suicide bomber. Is
or
probably
let's
not
start going
gonna,
off in a super paranoia world where she's been paid by Muhammad.
She's probably not going to rush the cockpit with her wheelchair. I'm just saying.
There's a good chance of it.
Oh, I have a bomb in my wheelchair.
Yes.
Tell the pilot we're all dead.
Sonny.
Oh.
We have security theater. We do not have security at the airports. And if you doubt that, just look. Somebody did a study, or didn't they? Their own TSA website, haven't they failed like a huge percentage of the tests?
I think at least over 90. At least it was over 90% of the people who were paid by the TSA to sneak stuff through got through.
Mm-hmm.
They're all like minimum wage people, so I don't know what people expect. Like, these guys, people
They're not
like,
getting their $15 an hour. They probably, I bet they are. I bet they are getting their $15 an hour.
But I forget how many instances of where the numbers in that article are so great because it tells you how many times that TSA have been caught stealing, how many times the TSA has been caught sleeping on the job. It's just astronomical. I mean, I just think of Chicago O'Hare. I mean, I could think of Logan Airport too, but for some reason Chicago O'Hare hits me at in here.
Guess what airport I'm not going through? Chicago O'Hare.
Yeah, you don't want to go through there.
Because if I'm going to take a flight across country, I'm going to go through the southern states because my permit's valid in all those states and they won't stop me and arrest me for taking my guns with me.
While the exact failure rate is classified, which should scare you, multiple sources indicate that it is greater than 70%.
Well, I heard it was more in a different article, but that one's probably. I'd go with
And
that
what were you going to say, Rupan?
Oh, I was going to say how I think it's O'Hare. Whenever you get there, you're always late, and you got like 5 minutes to go under the runway. I always think of like Macaulay Culkin running with the family, and it's like, what the f? Every time I come into this airport, there's a problem, and I literally am running to the gate.
Well, yeah, because that's
Yeah.
O'Hare.
I've never been through O'Hare because I've heard the horror stories, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm good with Dallas Fort Worth, even if it is as large as like 3 football fields. You know what? I will go. I will take the tram all around the building just to get where I need to.
Well, I've flown out of O'Hare with the gun twice. One was to go down to Florida, and once was to come here and look at houses. And both times I showed up at the check-in with my firearm. They were like, "Oh, you have a firearm? I got to call somebody over." Whatever. When we flew out of here to go back to Illinois, they're like, "Oh, yeah, here's your tag. Put it in there, and then just wait here until it gets through. It gets through screening, and then you can go." Now in O'Hare, they actually have somebody walk you around. They have a separate scanner, and they have somebody walk you and your bag around to the separate scanner, and they scan it while you're standing there.
Now, how secure do the magazines have to be in there? Can they just be in there, just like laying in the case with the guns, or do they have to be all uniform?
No, they can be just laying in there.
Okay.
And most airlines want you to have the ammo in a separate container, whether that's the factory ammo box, or get one of those berries or MTM or something and put it in that. They do not like them in the magazine. So
even though they say you can travel with the magazines loaded.
Yes, TSA says that.
Yeah.
The airlines have their own rules, and they like to have them in a separate. They like them not to be in a magazine. They'd rather have them in a cardboard box.
Yeah, I can do that.
So you have to have a case. You have to have a case big enough to hold your firearm and your magazine separate, and the box for your ammo.
I've got a ridiculous rifle case that I bought from that I got from AWAC that I'm going to use.
For
the only issue, no, this is a rifle case. It's one of the big long Plano rifle cases.
And you're taking that for just a handgun, or are you taking a rifle with you?
No, I'm bringing the C308, the AK, and an AR-15 with me, as well as the Vampire 1911 and the SIG P320. Everything fits in it.
Is there going to be a war or what?
No.
What are you expecting to happen out there at the gun rights policy conference? I mean,
the AR is I built for my uncle, and I owe him an AR, so I'm bringing that to him because it saves me having to pay extra to have it sent to him.
I thought it was just because he was afraid of snakes.
And the AK and the AR and the 1911. Why not? I want to have my guns with me, all right?
I guess I like having one with me too, but I don't know if I need all of them.
Well, this isn't all of them. This isn't even a quarter of what I've got. So I'm just bringing a couple with me.
He might be making a remake of Commando, guys. Come on.
No. I was hoping because I've got the AK. I was hoping I could go with G-Webs down into the desert and we could do a Red Dawn shoot.
Shoot at the sun.
No, probably at some mountains.
What did those mountains ever do to you?
Just remember, when you're shooting at the sun, yell "World Star" and hold your phone up and down.
Yes, hold it vertical.
He's a mountainist. Wanting to kill them poor mountains that ain't done nothing to him.
So the Gun Snob joined us. How are you, Mr. Gun Snob? Oklahoma's Gun Snob.
I am wonderful. Exhausted, but wonderful.
Did you get all those free guns loaded out of your truck?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
So what do you have going on?
Flat tire. The weight of all those free guns.
Mm-hmm. I have nothing going on. Just, chilling. Thought I'd come on here and annoy you.
Mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm. I thought so.
So,
well, since you're here,
I just want to bring some guns with me when I go to Arizona because why not?
There's an ad up here for the new Bond Arms Rowdy. 45 410 barrel. Yeah, because they didn't polish everything. That was a thing with them, I think.
Obnoxious one.
Yes.
Can you recommend some gun locks for my my gun cases?
Just get regular padlocks. You don't need any. Yeah. You don't need anything specific. Don't get the TSA ones. They don't want you to have TSA locks on it.
I know that.
Just get some master locks or something. You don't have to have anything. I mean, just get what you got. I mean, I had, when I traveled with it, I just had one of those little, crap. I can't even think of, like, stack on, that just have the lock integrated in it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, because I was just taking a pistol, so it just went in my carry-on bag.
Question: do you think the SIG case that comes with the firearm is that hard enough, or should I get a different .0 case for that?
That'd qualify. It's lockable. But I thought you said
lockable.
I thought you said it fit in the.
Well, I'm thinking about putting some ammo in it.
Yeah, it's lockable.
I'm bringing it with me. So.
Anyway, the Oklahoma Second Amendment Association is challenging efforts. This is your thing you've been talking about, Snob.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with it pretty much every few hours.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting. They turned in their signatures. Last I heard, Don Spencer's the guy I had interviewed. He's the one who is OK2A. Basically, he's the main one of it. Anyways, he said he heard they were 10,000 short, but just yesterday they were 40,000 short. Is what the news was saying. They were trying to get it right, but I heard he said he heard whenever they turned it in, they were still 10,000 short. So we'll see.
So they had until 5 p.m. today, so that should be coming up. Yeah. You should be hearing in the next day or two, maybe even tomorrow.
They said we'll probably hear, a rough count maybe tomorrow, but they said probably expect a week to 2 weeks before a true count because they have to go through and verify all the signatures.
Mm-hmm. And they needed 60,000, and you heard they were.
Well, yesterday on all the news stations, like every local news station, were saying they were at 20,000. Yesterday midday. And then this evening at like 3 o'clock, whenever they turned in all their, or 4 o'clock, whenever they actually turned in all their signatures, because they actually closed at 5, the Capitol, so they had to have them actually in the Secretary's hands before that. So at 4 o'clock, whenever they walked them in, he heard that they said they were 10,000 short. So I'm hoping that's true. But either way, he went and did some like hidden camera video of them at different locations. And they were flat out lying about what it did. They were telling people, well, it makes it legal for campus carry and all this. They were saying, well, you can carry on campuses if you have this. You can carry a rifle just openly on campus. And that's, the gun law has nothing to do with.
Well, yeah, that's the same thing. That's the same thing they did with 1639. They flat out lied about it. And unfortunately.
But he has video proof, and they, so they're suing, taking it up with the Supreme Court. He's already filed a protest with the Supreme Court with that. The Oklahoma Supreme Court. But nothing's going to happen until they find out if they have enough signatures or not.
Well, here's hoping they don't.
Yeah, that'd be the best case scenario.
Though they got a bunch of signatures tossed out up there in 1639, and that still got pushed through.
Yeah, but if they were at 20,000 yesterday, how many signatures can they get in one day? And then even if they got them all, are they going to all be valid? They can't be that many over to protect. Have the protections of the ones that got knocked out.
There are people who they will get signatures for money, and they are very good at it.
I agree, but also this is Oklahoma, so I'm hoping that helps. Which I realize there's probably 60,000 idiots in Oklahoma that would sign that, especially when they're going off just telling flat out lies about it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they weren't having very good luck in the beginning, so they did a really big push yesterday if they got it.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be interesting to see.
We have people like here that you can literally there's people waiting outside Market Basket. Hey, do you think that this should happen? Sign here. Yay. Thank you. Like, do you want to be safer? Do you think your kids should be safer? Sign here.
Night Kingpin.
How does Midnight know this? Has he been to Oklahoma lately? I mean, I know that's true, but I'm just saying, how does he know? I thought we kept that top secret.
Apparently not secret enough. If some
I guess it's just the barber shop in general we keep secret, and the dog's name. I mean, you can't tell Fred's name. I mean, the dog's name.
You guys
fourth wall again.
Yeah, fourth wall again.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Rip Fred. Hillary's going to suicide him.
The ATF can take out Fred.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll hear something about that tomorrow, and it'll be good news because
I'll go on there.
Yeah, otherwise it will put you guys a year back.
Oh right? Yeah. It won't. They won't even have the election till November 2020. It won't be on the ballot.
And it was supposed to take effect November 1st, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Which he said he still has 2 more options up his sleeve, but he's not even telling what they are until
the nuclear option.
Apparently. So, yeah, he's been doing news interviews and everything else.
Yeah, and then we've got.
Oops, sorry.
I saw a great.
I'm gonna send you a link.
Yeah, we can hear you, Rupen.
I saw a great article. I just switched over to my crappy microphone. I saw a great article that Trump said it's me versus the Three Stooges. I didn't read the article, but I just could not stop laughing. He said stuff like that.
Well, that's his style. But this is, if you're not a shill for Springfield Armory, this is the one I was talking to you about last night, Snub. This is the one that got that Springfield Armory's, quote unquote, rogue lobbyist.
Yeah, originally pushed through.
Yeah. And then when Rauner was in office, he struck it down, or I don't think he vetoed it. I think he just didn't bring it in for a signature. And now that they've got this fat fuck in office up there, he's brought it in. He signed it. He signed it in January, which was when he took office.
See, our new governor, the first bill he signed, you know what it was? Oh yeah, constitutional carry.
Mm-hmm. Well, your new governor wasn't a Democrat in a blue state. Well, in a northernly blue state.
One small section.
Yes. Well, 2 small sections because Rockford is too.
Mm.
And then I think Springfield is because that's where they all live. But This is the Firearms Dealer License Certification Act. And I'm surprised it actually has that name because Illinois is good for doing shell bills. They take a bill and they completely strip it of everything except the number and the name of it. And then they make it about something else. So it'll be like the Violence Against Women bill, or it'll be the, highways and road beautification project, and it'll actually end up being like some anti-gun thing, or it'll be something completely different. It'll have the same number, it'll have the same title, but they'll strip all the body of the bill and then they'll just tack on amendments to make it what they want. So I'm actually surprised this one actually has a real name to it. So there, he signed it, and the ISP has finally put out for it. So now they have 45 days of public comment there, and they may amend the proposed rules based on the feedback they received. Kind of like the bump stock ban, where public comment, and then we may do something with it, or it may be fuck you. We're just going to do it the way we want, which is probably how it's going to go through. But the new rules, all licensed and certified gun dealers who maintain an inventory will be required to have electronic security alarms that notify local law enforcement of any authorized intrusion into areas where firearms are kept and maintained. So not just your alarm company. Now it's got to notify the local law enforcement, and they've got to have somebody dedicated to responding to that. And then if you have a retail location, you've got to implement electronic record systems to track their changing inventory. So everything within 24 hours, purchases and transactions and inventory coming in and sales going out. Be required to maintain records of sales, including a copy of the buyer's photo ID for at least 20 years, the same length of time required under federal regulations. So this is all stuff that's required federally, and Illinois thinks that, they need to put that in there too.
Yeah, let's make it double.
Mm-hmm. And then in 2021, you're going to have video surveillance everywhere. It says entrances and exits, as well as any interior portion of the building where firearms are stored, handled, displayed, or transferred. So that means you have to have every inch of the store covered.
Well, I mean, most firearms dealers are going to want that, but I don't think it should be required by law by any means. But truthfully, what firearm store, if they can afford it, wouldn't want to have every inch of their store?
Right, if they can afford it.
Affording thing, because no telling what that security system would cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
For
here we come down.
Anyway.
Yeah, and here you come down to.
We're talking about a security camera server that has a backup that can be logged in by local PD. If we're talking anywhere, let's say a medium-sized building, like 48 security cameras, maybe like 16 IP cameras, we're looking at probably like 15 to 20 grand, and they have to pay a yearly licensing fee as well. And if anybody needs a set, let me know. I got two.
Well, and then you come down.
Call me a chill.
Then you come down. They're going to charge you $300 for that certificate that, as a federal firearms licensee, now you have to have a state firearms license in Illinois.
Oh no, it's $1,500 if you actually have a store.
Yeah, it's $300 for people operating without a retail location. So if you're a
kitchen table FFL,
kitchen table FFL or garage FFL or whatever you want to call it, you got to pay $300. But you don't have to have
a year, or is that a?
Yeah, that'll be a year, and it's $1,500 for for a retail location, if you own multiple retail locations, even if they're under the same name, you have to have a separate certificate.
Wow. But it can't exceed 40,000. So, you got that going.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I'm trying to think if I knew of any. Most of the ones that I knew up there didn't have a second retail locations, and they don't have any in Cook County anyway. So the only place where you might have someplace that might have, enough business where they could have 2 locations, you can't have a gun store. So,
well, what about like stores like Academy or Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart would. Yeah, Walmart would have to pay $40,000 in Illinois.
Bass Pro,
I just see Walmart saying no thanks.
Yep. Yeah, Walmart's going to say no.
Yeah, they're just going to say nope. We're just going to stop selling guns like they did.
They have some profit there, but it's not worth the headache of dealing with Illinois laws. I don't blame them. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't blame them for it.
No,
that's not their biggest profit. So why not put something that makes more money in there?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's terrible to say, but truthfully,
yeah. So you can take a look that Walmart's going to get out of the firearms business.
I got to get out of here, guys. Thank you.
All right. See you, Rupan. You got anything you want to plug before you take off?
Just if you're in Massachusetts, contact your rep. I'll be having some more videos come out soon. Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right.
See you later, everybody.
See ya.
Kingpin for the link. Later, Rich. Happy birthday, Night Strike. Steve Giz. Bye.
Night.
Yeah. So, what about Cabela's and Bass Pro? And I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's probably still some Ganders in Illinois.
What about like Farm and Fleet kind of stores? Are there some of those?
Farm and Fleet doesn't sell any. Big R does though. So, and they were just starting to come into the area when we moved out. So, yeah, at least Farm and Fleet by us didn't. I don't think.
We don't have any Farm and Fleets, so I didn't know if they sold them or not. I know Tractor Supply sells like ammo and safes, but they don't sell guns. But
yeah, same with
other farm store sells guns, ammo, safes, everything.
Same as Farm and Fleet, they sell ammo and safes, but that's it.
And what about like Dunham's? Do you have Dunham's there? I mean, that's a pretty
good. No. Is there any Dunham's in Illinois?
Nope. Not unless they have something down south. They don't have anything. They didn't have anything up in the north there.
They make enough money off their guns, kind of like Gander Mountain. They make enough money that $1,500 ain't gonna bother them off every gun. When you sell it for MSRP, you can afford that.
Yeah, the Dunham's what's up in LaVille, Maryland. From here, they got a big gun section in that store.
Yeah, we just got our first Dunham's about 35 miles from me, but I've only been in there twice, I think, and I think I bought a box of ammo that was on sale once, and that was it. Oh, this is Rural King.
Rural King, that must be down in south though. We didn't have any Rural Kings up there in the north part of the state, Ozzy. Well, like I said, we're just starting to get the big R. So yeah, that's
that article I sent you. It said in the end of it that they're not even going to start counting the votes till the Supreme Court rules on this. So who knows?
Good God. So even if they don't have enough signatures, they're not going to,
because he already filed at the Supreme Court. I think maybe the news got that backwards. I really do, because I thought I understood it the opposite way. So maybe the news screwed it up.
I mean, if they don't have the signatures, then that would make the Supreme Court case
moot
because
put a stay on the count until they get a chance to look at the case. That'd be the only way.
Yeah, I don't know. I understood it that the Supreme Court wasn't going to look at it until they found out if they had enough votes. But then this article from a news station says no, they're not going to start counting the votes until the Supreme Court looks at it. So I don't know. I wonder if which one of the news stations had their had a bunch of stuff totally wrong on one of the Oklahoma City stations. Like literally, Oklahoma City voted on their own little city resolution. The city council did, whether they support this referendum or not. And they had it voted that they voted in support of the referendum when truthfully they voted against the referendum. It was a 4-5 vote or 5-4 vote. Well, they had it backwards in their original news story, and they left it for a whole day before they changed it. I mean, it seemed kind of purposeful.
They must be getting a bunch of traffic for that because I'm just spinning, trying to open the article. Of course, I've got like 8 other tabs open too, so that could be.
So what you're saying is that Oklahoma channel is taking lessons from MSNBC?
Probably.
Probably. I heard somebody call it the MSDNC the other day. I thought that was funny. Yeah, it's still just spinning.
KOCO5 News got the one completely flipped.
Yep, just spinning. Spinning. We was spinning. All right. I don't really want to get into how we take New York and California back. I don't know if it's possible. Just like I don't know if it's possible to take Illinois back.
Yeah, this one says, as of 2 p.m. today, Representative Jason Lowe said they have 50,000 signatures for the Oklahoma referendum on permitless carry, which would be about 10,000 short of what they need by 5 p.m. today. And they turned them all in at 4 p.m. today. So either way, if they've got it, do they have enough more to cover the invalid signatures? Because, I mean, no matter what, there's going to be at least, a few hundred that are invalid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure it's more like a few thousand, but...
Yeah, you're probably going to get Mickey Mouses and Scooby-Doos and whatever.
If you've learned nothing, is that the left doesn't like the rules, so they'll come out and challenge the fact that they didn't have enough time to get those 60,000 signatures.
Well, that's their own fault. They've had months. They've knew about this for months.
Doesn't matter. You've got perfect example. Look at the people that are running for president in the Democratic Party. They knew going into this what the rules were to get to the debate stage. And now they've come up to it, and they've got people who didn't meet those qualifications to get to the debate stage, and they're complaining about the rules. So this will be the same. This will be the same thing. It's just like in Washington, they didn't obey the rules up there, and they didn't get it. And then they went to court and got a judge to say, okay, well, we'll put it in there anyway.
Well, I am curious to see how our Supreme Court will rule on this. I mean, they're a pretty conservative court, but, which shouldn't matter. Truthfully, the Supreme Court should be...
It shouldn't matter, but that's unfortunately, it does.
I know.
None of it should matter. We have a democratic republic, or we have a constitutional republic, sorry. And we're based on laws, and every state that signed on to those laws needs to follow those laws, and the Supreme Court is supposed to be, non-political, but we always talk about, we need another conservative justice on there. Look at these liberal justices we have on there.
I mean, that's one of the main reasons I voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Supreme Court.
Yeah. That's the main reason a lot of people voted for Trump.
Speaking of that, did you hear Ruth Bader Ginsburg's cancer has flared back up?
Has what?
Her cancer came out of remission or whatever and is bad, I guess.
I heard
she was going there cancer.
I heard that she went in and they took care of something else again and was back out like 2 days ago. Is she back in now?
I don't know. I just heard this just there or two ago.
Yeah, she went back in for more cancer treatments.
Well, see, and that's the thing. She's what, 86 years old?
She's only holding on in hopes that
because of Trump.
Yeah, she would have retired in a heartbeat otherwise.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is ridiculous, and
she won't retire. She will have to die to be honest, unless she lives past the election, and
if she lives past the
Democrats
election and Trump doesn't get reelected, then she will retire.
I imagine she'll probably have to retire if Trump gets reelected. Either way, I think she just won't be able to stay.
Oh no, that she'll be there until she dies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll be there till she dies. Because she's a hardcore leftist.
Yep.
So,
and even then, they'll tire to Kagan and Sotomayor and just do the Weekend at Bernie's thing with her.
Every time I ever see her, she's freaking sleeping anyway. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. We shouldn't have to worry about, whether the justice is conservative or liberal, because they're supposed to be
constitutionalist.
Yes.
And that's one of the big arguments on this concealed carry thing is the vote when we got the new governor last November. Because Stitt ran one of his big major things that he was running on was constitutional carry. I mean, he coined it to constitutional carry because of his name Stitt. And that was one of his big running points. And his opponent, Drew Edmondson, the Democrat, his big running point was he won't allow constitutional carry. Well, it was like a 60-40 or 65-35 vote. I mean, it was a pretty wide margin. It wasn't even close. The Stitt won. So everybody's saying, that was his big running point. I think the people of Oklahoma spoke whenever they elected him as governor.
Mm-hmm. But you've got the people on the left who don't like the rules, so they want to change the rules. Just like them all screaming that the Electoral College and Hillary won the popular vote, which is, we covered this last week, I think. She didn't necessarily win the popular vote.
No, she didn't win the popular vote. She won California.
Well, she won the popular vote because in districts where it doesn't matter, the absentee votes and the provisional votes don't get counted. Yeah. If the margin is smaller than what the group of absentee and provisional votes is, then the provisional votes and the absentee ballots get counted. If the margin is larger than those votes don't get counted.
I mean, that's literally saying every absentee vote in Oklahoma did not get counted. I mean, and I know it didn't.
They didn't.
Because, Oklahoma went completely red.
Mm-hmm. They didn't.
So, yeah. And I know off the top of my head, I know at least 20-some people myself that was talking about they, did it early.
Yeah, early. The funny thing is, if you look at the election in 2016, Trump had the popular vote if you take California away. I mean, he was up by 1 million votes before you add in California. As soon as you add
you got to think, though, they didn't count all the votes in California, again, because it wasn't even close.
Yeah. Yeah. So none of the provisional or absentee ballots get counted because they don't matter.
They don't
because it's not that matter. And those, from what I've seen, are historically 2/3 Republican. So that's the number I've seen, is that the absentee and provisional ballots the absentee ballots usually go about 2/3 Republican.
I don't know. I thought a lot of the dead folks voted with absentee ballots.
No, they don't do absentee ballots. They actually go in and vote.
Oh, they vote, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The zombies go vote.
Mm-hmm.
So
zombies, skeletons, vampires, you name it, they're out there voting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let's wrap it up and get the hell out of here. I don't know. Is Clover going live tonight? Or
I haven't seen anything about it.
All right. Well, let's get out of here in case he does. No, I don't know if he is, but we'll wrap it up and get the hell out of here anyway. Rich, what do you got going?
Well, we'll have This Week Unloaded on Sunday at 8 Eastern, so check that out. And that's about all I got tonight. And be sure to go over there and do the Indiegogo thing for Night Strike. So,
Yep, I just dropped the link in there. So let me double checking where he's at. He's at 26.
24. Oh,
he's
at
at 26.55 now. 26.55. So he is at 75%. I know most of the people that are probably watching this still have gone and donated here. If you're watching me and you haven't, go watch my 1,000 sub giveaway. Follow the instructions. And really, what the hell is that?
What?
Somebody.
The buzzing?
Yes. Was that you farting?
I got my phone charger too close to my mic. It like interferes with it if it touches it. I don't know why. It's
Right.
tangled.
So, if anybody's here watching this and has not supported Night Strike's Indiegogo, go over there, support it. It's something for the community. It's not just for Night Strike. It's not just for me. It's not just for Snob, just for Gizzard. It's for the community. It's something that will be available to everybody in the community. It will get him better servers. Will get him some coding help to get some better software in there if he reaches those stretch goals. I'm really hoping that since Yankee put out that video that it's really going to help him out and get that over that. But I'm doing what I can for him from here because, like I said, it's not just for me. It's not just for him. It's for all of us. So I encourage anybody who hasn't to go over there and give him a little bit, whether it's $1 or it's $5. If you want to get the Founders Pack, get the Founders Pack, and that'll help him out. So, Gizzard, what do you got coming up?
Well, there's a rumor that there's a show tomorrow night. It's called Foul Territory.
I heard it got rained out or rain delayed.
Never heard of it.
Well, you got to check it out. It's tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Right here. I mean, you'll love it. And a lot of your favorite people that you know will be on that panel, hopefully, if they show up. Sunday morning, early bird chat where everybody can be in the panel if they want to. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Otherwise, my website is gizzardgary.com. And I agree, go out and support the GunTube Indiegogo and be cool like us. And give him the bird.
All right, thanks for coming in, Gizzard. Snob, what gun you showing this week?
I'm probably
next week.
A Deagle next week. And I got some other videos to put out. I'm definitely going to do the Deagle, and I might do the BFR next week. I don't know.
All right.
Or I might do a folding Glock. Or I might do something totally different because there might be something totally different coming this Saturday. Just saying.
I hate you so much.
Mm-hmm. And it starts with a B, is all I know.
Starts with a what?
A B.
Hate you so much.
He just said they sent him home from the buyer show with something cool for me to shoot, and
I hate you so much. You doing a show Saturday night?
I don't know. We're going to the lake this weekend, but it's supposed to rain Saturday. So I think we're not going to wait.
Did we lose you? I think we lost you. All right. So Snob may or may not have a show on Saturday night. As for me, I got out to the range today with the Bond Arms, shot a watermelon and some pop bottles. Didn't go quite as well as I thought it would, and I had issues with my one camera, so I didn't get quite the footage that I wanted, but I'll release that next week. I really want to do something with the Mossberg, the P365, and the XDS because I don't have a shield and I don't have a Glock 43. So I may do something with that, whether it's the range video or just doing a tabletop with the three of them and then doing a range video later on those. Nope. He is out and back in. But other than that, if Clover's running a show tonight, check that out here in a couple minutes. If he's not, well, then you're on your own. You can go to bed. You can find something else to watch. You can go back and watch this over again. Don't know why, but yeah, why not? And check out Night Strike's Indiegogo. Go over. Tomorrow is Free Patch Friday. Monday is Every Second Matters, but everything will be closed, so I don't really know if anybody's really going to get out there and do anything for Every Second Matters on Monday because everything will be closed.
Walmart will be open. Go hang out at the Walmart.
You can go hang out at the Walmart. So there you go. Just don't go hang out at the Walmart in Missouri because people will apparently get called. The police will apparently get called on you, even if you're just open carrying a pistol. So, how many snobs are going to come in here?
I don't know what's going on with my internet. It's like I haven't been in here since I left. Since like I was halfway through my plugs.
Yeah, you're halfway through your plugs. But
it kicked me, and then I keep.
There went one snob. But
yeah.
Check out Free Patch Friday. And I would like to remind everybody to go check out gunchannels.com. It is a community focused on firearms, built for shooters, by shooters, for conversations like this one, only better. So, Snob, finish out your other half of your plug, and then we'll get the hell out of here.
I don't know. Go watch my channel. Go watch my videos.
Okay, and you may or may not have a show on Saturday.
May or may not have a show on Saturday night. Depends on what I do.
All right. And either way, I think Sarge will have a show Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. So
if I can go out and hold my phone up in the air, I might join shortly. But I'm probably not standing out there with my phone up in the air all night if I'm up like.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming in. Thanks everybody out there watching. The 8 of you that are left here, because I know I got corked by Yankee. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Get your plugs in.
Give him the bird.
That's a calf rope.
Hashtag Porky Piggin.
See you on the range.
Bye-bye.
Visit porkypiggin.com. Use code SNOB.
Get free STDs.
That bug is a sandwich.